In this video, I want to go through 7 misconceptions about hiring from the Philippines. Let's go. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Adrian. I own Smart Sidekicks, a virtual assistant staffing agency where we help burnout business owners with highly experienced and trained virtual assistants from the Philippines that will cost you a heck of a lot less than hiring locally. So I've been hiring VAs now for probably close to 10 years, and I would have hired probably close to 50 VAs over that time. So I know a thing or two about what sort of people expect from Filipino virtual assistants, and the misconceptions, and I think maybe the stigma that might be out there, or that I do see out there, that people sort of think about when they're hiring offshore. So in this video, I want to go through some of those misconceptions so that you can better understand the Filipino culture. Okay, misconception number 1 is language proficiency. So in terms of language, I mean English. So Filipinos are actually taught English in school from very, very young age. So Filipinos speak very good English. Some obviously have a bit of an accent, but many times I've hired VAs that don't have hardly any detectable accent really at all, or very sort of even US sounding, or just very sort of neutral sounding. So if you have a business where it relies on sort of like phone calls, you need someone that answers the phone that sounds, so they don't have a thick accent. Filipinos are very English proficient in writing and spoken as well. Okay, misconception number 2 is a limited skill set. So a lot of people think that VAs from the Philippines can only do, customer service or things like that. Now, that couldn't be further from the truth. You can basically hire almost any position that you can think of from the Philippines. And I have for various different positions, for other businesses, for my own businesses, and, from customer service, admin, graphic design, video editing, all the way through to operations managers, web developers, coding, tech stuff. There's all manner of different virtual assistants that have highly specialized skill sets from the Philippines. Okay, misconception number 3 is cultural disconnect. Now, a lot of people think that because they're in the Philippines, they might not have much of a connect with, let's say, Australia or the USA. But to be honest, there is a lot of Western influence in the Philippines, and a lot of the time they will have worked for US companies, Australian companies. So if you're looking to hire, they've already had a lot of that sort of training with those countries' cultures and how they speak, how that sort of country liaises with people. Like if you're doing customer service, for example, I've had VAs that have worked for US businesses and then Australian businesses, and they can see the difference in the cultures. Like one might be slightly easier to talk to, or some people act a different way when you talk a different way, or something like that. So it's not really something you need to worry about. Okay, misconception number 4 is time zone troubles. Now, if you're in Australia, you're lucky because the Philippines is only 2 hours behind. So that's why Filipinos love working for Australian businesses, is because they can just work pretty much a normal day shift. So if your business starts at 8:30, they can basically start at 6:30 their time, and if you finish at 5, they can finish at 3. So it works very, very good for them, and Filipinos pretty much will always, if it's their aim, they'll always take a job from an Australian employer over a US-based employer or a business based on that side of the world, where it would equal a graveyard shift for them in the Philippines. Okay, misconception number 6, and you may or may not have this one, but this is limited communication channels. Now look, the Philippines, I've heard people say about how the internet is bad, but the internet is actually pretty good in most areas, like capital cities. I have been there before, and the internet was bad then, but that was a while ago. And most of my Filipinos, they've done speed tests, and their speed tests of their internet is better than mine here in Australia. So it's unbelievable, to be honest. Maybe their internet is bad compared to what it can be, whereas Australia's internet usually is pretty average. So yeah, for the communication, VAs from the Philippines, they can do basically anything that anybody else can do in terms of communication. So you got just like your email, you can do video calls. I do video calls with my team all the time. We talk via WhatsApp, email, etc. No problems. Now, misconception number 7. Some people might think that there is a lack of professionalism from the Philippines. Now, I've never heard this one. I've never really heard of anybody complaining about this, but I thought I'd throw this one in there just in case you were thinking this. But look, truth be told, Filipinos take their work very seriously. I find they take it far more seriously than locally hired people. Because they can sort of support their whole family off being hired full time. they do take it very seriously, and they work their entire life around that job. You know, they do all their family stuff on the weekends or before work, after work, and there's really nothing you need to worry about in terms of them being professional. You know, they've got a strong work ethic, they're extremely dedicated, and they have a genuine desire to deliver results for your business. All right, so I hope that helped in clearing up some misconceptions that you may have had about hiring from the Philippines. If you ever have any questions about it, leave a comment below. But if you need a highly skilled and trained virtual assistant in your business from the Philippines, book a free discovery call with us here at Smart Sidekicks, and we'll get you sorted. You know, we can have a talk about your business, no obligation call whatsoever. Book a free call below. There'll be a link in the description.